Welcome everybody back to the channel, and today we are continuing our journey of making $50,000 this year in Doordash income alone. And today we are planning on working for 10 hours and making $150. Let's get to it. Well, our first order, $2 going 1 mile. This is going to be a great day. That order went to an administrative assistant there at a doctor's office. $2. Which means no tip. Doordash usually starts with $2. Sometimes they'll go a little higher, but normally it's $2. And then the normal, when you go to just log in and place an order, and with Doordash, when you just log in and you place a generic order with Doordash, it's going to start kind of middle of the road on the tip, and I think it normally starts like around $3. So the normal Doordash order should start at $5. A customer has to intentionally say, no, I do not wish to tip this person, and lower that to $0. They actually have to take extra effort to say, this person who is driving and picking up my food and bringing it personally to me, I do not want them to have 1 penny for doing that. But we love everybody. It'll be fine. We got a real order this time. We've got going to Motzi's Pizza, $6 going 2 miles, and it also says the total will be higher. So that means they're going to add a little extra tip on top of that after it's delivered, probably based upon how the delivery goes. $6 plus order came out to $8.50. So if you combine that with the first order, that's $10.50 on 2 orders, so $5.25, which is fair. Not great, but fair. So there's no use in getting upset with the lady from the doctor's office who I handed it directly to her. I had to get the PIN number from her to be able to close it out so she could see me. I could see her. I handed it directly to her. I don't know what's going through her mind. I'm not giving you a single penny for driving this to me. It's okay. There's going to be people who choose to do what they want to do in life. Let them do it. Enjoy your own life. It'll be fine. Everything balances out in the law of averages with everything you do. We've now gotten a couple of $6 orders. We went to the hospital, and now we're picking up at the China Inn. We are going $6 going 1.2 miles. So the average we've been seeing is about a mile and a half, and the average we've seen after that first order has been about $6. So it's doing pretty decent. Those are the orders that I like to see. Those are the orders that should be normal. $6 going a mile and a half keeps me in town. It's lunchtime. It's people that are living in town ordering their lunch from the local restaurants. Nothing crazy. If every order was like this, it would be a great, great day. Welcome to the day of $6 orders. Popeye's Louisiana Chicken, $6 going 1.4 miles. We could do this all day. Well, this order is a little bit tighter. It is $8 going 6 miles at Panera Bread. We're right pretty much there, like within a half a mile, so it's all going to be to the customer, so we'll be going out of town. We also got a notice as soon as we accepted it that the customer's order was ready. So I always like to see those. If I can get that notification saying the customer's order is ready before we get to the restaurant, that is always a good positive. I had to stop by the Airbnb and double check on a few things. Good thing that I did. There's some guests checking in tomorrow. Somehow we lost the door handle. Don't ask how that happens, but we lost the door handle. The house had been in the process of being sold, and so there's people, realtor and some prospective buyers that are walking through. Somehow we lost the door handle. Somehow there was looked like a dog had been on the sofa or something, so I had to clean that up. I expected to sweep a little bit, but I didn't expect those things. Yeah, the snacks, normally we leave snacks for the Airbnb people, and there were no snacks, so we had to take care of that too. Just some crazy things that we didn't that I didn't expect. So I went there for a couple hours. It was a nice easy 150, and now we are back in town getting ready for our Doordash shift. One thing that I do is when I've spent some time in Indianapolis and I come right back, I try not to turn Doordash on right away, because it pings that I was just in Indianapolis, and so it'll constantly give me orders going back to Indianapolis, which I don't want. That's a lot of miles with no return trips. I went home. I had a burrito. Yeah, I made some burritos earlier today, so I made extra for the next couple of days. Very, very good. Walked the dog, and now we're back out. And one thing that I do when I try to reset things is I drive around this apartment complex. There are a lot of apartments here, a lot of people living here, and it is right behind a couple of places where I get shopping orders, and that is PetSmart and Home Depot. I currently do not have shopping turned on. However, there's also, if you look right here, there's residential, and this section goes on for a little bit. And then when we go around this roundabout right here, this is the two best hotels, the backside of the two best hotels in town. And then there's also a couple other hotels right over here called the Nest and Holiday Inn Express and Quality or Comfort Inn. There's a couple restaurants off here to the right. We've got White Castle and we've got Cracker Barrel. As we take a left here, we've got a couple of the newer restaurants which just popped up here in the last 5 years. Chick-fil-A, Panera, Chipotle. Those are all brand new. Steak and Shake. And then we go on to Starbucks and a Thai restaurant as well as Qdoba. So yes, Chipotle and Qdoba are right next to each other, which is kind of strange because as I go down to another section, we've got 3 different sub shops right next to each other. But that's our town. All right, and then I just kind of sit here and wait for an order. This is a good spot to wait. We've got Steak and Shake, Chipotle, Panera, Chick-fil-A, and I've just recently gone through that apartment complex right by those houses, right by those apartments. So there's a good likelihood I could, not always, but I could get an order for those areas. Let's turn it on and see what we get going on. That didn't take us long to get an order. $9.50 going 5 miles at Chick-fil-A. It did take them a little while to get the order going. Because we were right there at Chick-fil-A, all those 5 miles are going straight to the customer. So we'll drive 5 miles there, 5 miles back. So that's a 20-minute order. So we have to figure in the $9.50 for 20 minutes. So today is Thursday, January 22nd. You may or may not be seeing this a couple days later. I'm going to try to push things a little bit tomorrow on Friday and work a little extra. So we have a rather large storm coming in on Saturday afternoon, which normally I take Saturday evening off, so that's not going to bother things too much. However, I'm thinking I'll probably work as much as I can tomorrow on Friday so that I can make up for a little bit of possibly lost stuff that I was planning on for Sunday, because I don't know what the weather's going to be like, what the roads are going to be like, and things like that. And then also I may have to end early on Saturday. Doordash usually has you go all the way till the point where you decide, I can't drive this anymore, and then about an hour or two later, then they'll like close down parts of Doordash or something for your area for a few hours. But they try to leave it open as long as possible, and then they start also at a certain point, about the time that you feel like you should quit because of safety, then they start adding plus $1, plus $2, things like that. So it could be a good opportunity to make some money here during the snowstorm. The normal daily uploads, right now I'm a little bit behind, and we may not get them out on Friday. Okay, we got another order. It's fairly decent. Buffalo Wild Wings, $7 going 2.8 miles. Oh, and by the way, when we went into Chick-fil-A, they gave us the free drink. We really need to get a free chicken sandwich sometime. Just drove by Walmart. Oh, my goodness. And everybody's getting prepared for this winter storm. Walmart parking lot is absolutely full. Everybody's driving. The stuff's all backed up. Good thing I'm not shopping right now. That worked out really good. Normally, you have to wait quite a while there at Buffalo Wild Wings. They've got this hot box, which is right up near the front door. It's basically a about the size of a refrigerator. It's stainless steel, and it keeps everything nice and hot. It doesn't matter if the food's already in there waiting. It's trying to wait on an employee a lot of times. But regardless, there's always a little bit of a wait there. But as luck would have it, as I was walking in the door, the employee was carrying the food to that hot box right there. And so there was absolutely no wait on that order. It was great. So $7 going, whatever it was, 2 miles or something like that. This is going to be a very nice, easy order. That last order actually gave us a little extra tip, so it was $11. That was a great order then. Our next order is now at Panda Express. $6.50 going 8.9 miles. Not that great, but we want to accept every order that we can, because when that snow comes in, we may have to decline some based upon distance and, snow out in rural areas and things like that. So it is 7 p.m. on a Thursday, and normally we should be getting order after order. This is a very busy time. But I think there's something in that algorithm that it's trying to search for a similar order to what I've had. Case in point, our first order was a 5-mile order. The second order was decent at like 2.5 miles. And then the third order was like 9 miles or something. I think it's trying to find me a long distance order. We'll see what happens. What do you think? Place your bets. While I was sitting here pretty much taking a nap, there was no orders for a long period of time. I don't know how long it was, but now we finally got $8.4 going 2-something miles. Taco Bell, which we're pretty much in the Taco Bell parking lot right now, so that's good. Well, now here's something that a lot of customers probably don't think about when they factor in how good's your Doordash driver or how much I should tip them. From whatever town or area that we're in, there's certain restaurants that do a good job, certain restaurants that don't. Certain restaurants which don't take very long on food, and other restaurants which take a long time on food. Well, Steak and Shake generally takes a while on food. So we have an order that was $4 going 7 miles. I thought about it for a minute, and I'm like, I really don't want to take the hit on the decline. I want to make sure I'm accepting all the orders. I've had some decent orders, so let's go ahead and take it. $4 going 7 miles for Steak and Shake. So I go in there, and they take a little bit longer than even normal. So it's about 15 minutes that I'm waiting on their food. Now it's going to be 15 minutes going to the customer, and then it's going to be 15 minutes coming back. So that's 45 minutes for a $4 order. No, not very productive at all. No. And I know I always talk about law of averages, but that really drives down your average. $4 for 45 minutes. That's pretty rough. Well, we just get back in town and we got another Steak and Shake order. $12 going 4.9 miles or something like that. We got to go to Steak and Shake and Buffalo Wild Wings. It's amazing how you get similar neighborhoods, you get similar restaurants all night long. It's really, really strange. We got a real nice order here, $10.62 and 3.2 miles. Almost made a boo-boo. I was driving to it and realized that I forgot to accept the order. Whoops. We just picked up an order from CVS. I had turned on the shopping. $13 going 11 miles, but I think we're probably about 4 miles from CVS right now, so it's still a distance, but hopefully not too bad on the shopping. We'll see when we get there. Well, we just picked up another order. This is actually going kind of towards Indianapolis and then coming back. It's $14.75 going 15 miles, so right about the dollar to mile ratio, and it kind of gets us back home, so that's fine. But the last order, the CVS order, was kind of strange because when I I happened to notice that there was a note on the order. Type in south instead of west for the address, and then I noticed that the address was automatically listed as west. I'm like, well, why didn't they just type in their address as south in Doordash? You know, you can edit that in like 2 seconds. So I tried to type it in, and it didn't come up at all. So I sent that to them, and they're like, oh, well, you could do south or west. No, the post office has your address listed as one address. It's not south and west. And Google is going to have your address as something.
Got it. Which list do you want to add to?
What? Shut up, Google. Turn off.
Okay.
My car is listening to me. They know every... Why is this light not changing? I've been here at this light forever. What's going on? Can I please get a turn light here? What's going on, man?
How do we do for Thursday, January the 22nd? Well, we wanted to work for 10 hours and make $120. As you know, we did have to take a small break and go over to the Airbnb, did some things there, which actually got us about $150. So that really did help out in that category. But again, we're talking about how we can get $50,000 this year in DoorDash income alone. So we have other ways of making money. 10 hours, $120. How did we do? We wound up working just under 8 hours. DoorDash paid us $45.25. We got $98.22 in tips. That brought our total earnings to $143.47. So we made just a little bit more than what we had budgeted, which was good because we needed to make up a little bit of ground. Unfortunately, we drove a lot of miles to make that money, especially there at the end. We had a lot of 13 and 15 mile orders. That made us 173 miles. That was 82 cents per mile. And we didn't have any other expenses, so everything else was all good. But I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you did enjoy this, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.